Nora drops the adoption papers on the marble floor. The yellow documents scatter like fallen leaves across polished stone. She stares at the signature, Ellis Michael Warren, her son's name written in careful cursive 39 years ago. Her cleaning bucket tips over, spilling soapy water everywhere. Footsteps echo down the hallway, the door handle already turning. Before we begin, tell me where you're listening from, and tap subscribe so you never miss a story.
Nora scrubs the kitchen counter for the third time this morning. Her weathered hands move in steady circles across granite that costs more than her monthly rent. The mansion around her gleams like a museum showcase, all marble floors and crystal chandeliers. "Mrs. Patterson, you really don't need to work so hard on everything." Ellis Warren stands in the doorway holding his morning coffee. His dark hair falls across his forehead exactly like someone she once knew decades ago. The resemblance makes her chest tighten with familiar pain she can't explain. "I like things done right, Mr. Warren. Always have." Steam rises from his expensive mug, carrying the rich scent of imported beans. The morning sun streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, casting long geometric shadows across pristine marble floors. She can hear the distant hum of traffic beyond the gates and feel the cool air conditioning against her perpetually warm skin. Ellis sets his mug on the spotless granite counter with careful precision. "The estate auction happens tomorrow at noon sharp." Ellis pulls out his phone and shows her a detailed listing. "Everything goes if I can't find the right documents by then. House, company, investments, everything." Nora's stomach drops like a stone into dark water. She knows exactly which documents he desperately needs. The adoption papers sit hidden in her worn leather purse, yellowed with age, but perfectly intact after all these years. "What kind of documents are you looking for, exactly?" "Birth records, adoption papers, anything proving my legal identity." His voice carries deep frustration and mounting desperation. "My lawyer says without them I lose absolutely everything my parents built." The kitchen fills with the sound of her rapid heartbeat pounding in her ears. Sunlight glints off the granite surface, almost blinding in its intensity. Her hands shake slightly as she folds the damp cleaning cloth with mechanical precision. Ellis runs his fingers through his thick hair and sighs heavily. "I hired 3 different private investigators already this month. They all came up completely empty. No birth mother records, no adoption agency files, nothing to go on." Nora grips the edge of the stainless steel sink to steady herself against the wave of emotion. Every word he speaks cuts deeper than the last sharp blade. She carried him for 9 long months, held him for 3 precious days before they took him away forever. Maybe she had good reasons for staying hidden from view. What good reason could there possibly be for that? "She threw me away like unwanted garbage." The central air conditioning cycles on with a mechanical hum that fills the silence. Crystal glasses catch the morning light on open shelves like tiny prisms. Her knuckles turn white against the cold stainless steel sink as memories flood back. Ellis stops his restless pacing and stares out the large window. Nora watches him through the reflection in the polished refrigerator door's surface. His broad shoulders carry the weight of questions that have haunted him for 39 long years. She recognizes the lonely set of his jaw, the way he holds himself apart from the world. "I'll help you look for those papers today if you want. You'd really do that for me?" Hope flickers across his handsome face like candlelight in darkness. "I can pay you extra money for the time." No need for extra money, Mr. Warren. I just want to help. The massive house settles around them with small creaks and sighs of expensive wood. Morning birds chirp cheerfully outside the tall windows, oblivious to human pain. The cool ceramic tile feels solid beneath her feet, grounding her to this moment of terrible possibility and hope. She opens the supply closet door and reaches for fresh cleaning rags. Margaret Thornton sweeps through the front door without bothering to knock first. Her sharp designer heels click against marble like a countdown timer, marking precious seconds. Silver hair frames a face that could cut through glass with its cold precision. "Alice, darling, we absolutely need to discuss your little legal problem." Nora freezes completely in the hallway, dust cloth still clutched in her trembling hand. She recognizes that imperious voice from 39 years ago. The church elder who personally took her baby away while she cried and begged. "Margaret, I already told you I'm handling this situation myself." "By hiring random housekeepers off the street." Margaret's cold gaze finds Nora and strips her bare with contempt. "How absolutely desperate you've become, dear boy." The antique grandfather clock chimes 10 times in the elegant foyer, each note hanging in the air. Afternoon light slants through tall windows, creating prison bar shadows on the expensive Persian rug. Nora's heart pounds so loud she's certain they can both hear it echoing. Margaret adjusts her triple strand of pearls with practiced theatrical precision. The adoption agency burned down completely in 1987, you know. Margaret's voice carries false sympathy that doesn't reach her calculating eyes. All records destroyed in the terrible fire. Such an unfortunate tragedy for everyone involved. Nora knows this is a complete lie told with practiced ease. She has the official papers to prove it beyond any doubt. Margaret personally orchestrated every single detail of the forced adoption, convinced 16-year-old Nora that she was saving everyone from shame and scandal. There has to be something left somewhere in the system. Margaret shrugs elegantly, dismissing decades of pain with casual indifference. "Perhaps it's better this way, don't you think? Some stones really shouldn't be turned over by curious hands." The central air conditioning hums steadily overhead like white noise. Dust motes dance lazily in the streaming golden sunlight. Nora's fingers tighten around the cleaning cloth until her knuckles ache with the pressure and her nails dig into her palms. Ellis moves closer to Margaret, his strong jaw set in stubborn determination. "I'm not giving up the search, Margaret. Not now, not ever." He crosses his muscled arms over his broad chest defiantly. "This house, the company, everything my adoptive parents left me, it all depends on proving my legal identity in court. Your adoptive parents would certainly understand if you lost everything. They knew the legal risks when they took you in as their son." Nora wants to scream the truth right here in this elegant foyer with its crystal chandelier. Margaret destroyed so many innocent lives with her righteous certainty and religious judgment. The woman still wears the same expensive French perfume that haunted Nora's nightmares for years. "I won't give up hope that easily, no matter what." The heavy front door stands open behind Margaret, letting in warm spring air and the sound of birds. Expensive cars pass slowly on the quiet residential street outside. The Persian rug beneath their feet costs more than Nora makes in 6 months of hard work. Margaret checks her diamond-encrusted watch with theatrical precision and obvious satisfaction. "You have exactly 18 hours until the auction begins, Ellis dear. 18 precious hours to produce legal documents that simply don't exist anywhere." She turns gracefully toward the door, then pauses deliberately beside Nora. Her expensive perfume is overwhelming. White flowers and old money and buried secrets that should stay hidden forever.
Some people never learn their proper place, do they now? Have a good day, Mrs. Thornton. Nora keeps her voice steady despite the earthquake shaking her chest from within. She absolutely won't let this cruel woman see her break again after all these years. Margaret laughed softly, a sound exactly like expensive crystal breaking against marble. The front door closes behind her with an expensive whisper of perfectly balanced hinges. Ellis stares at the polished wood as if magical answers might appear there. He walks slowly back toward the kitchen, shoulders slumped in defeat.
Ellis sits hunched at his massive oak desk, surrounded by towers of legal documents. His laptop screen glows blue in the gathering afternoon shadows. Every single paper he touches might hold the key to his entire future and everything he holds dear. Find anything helpful yet in all those files? Nora sets a cup of hot tea beside his elbow. The delicate china clinks softly against the polished mahogany surface. Nothing useful. Just more dead ends and closed doors everywhere. She studies his profile in the warm lamplight, memorizing every detail. The elegant curve of his nose, the way he chews his lower lip when concentrating deeply. Details that break her heart with their painful familiarity to his father. Maybe you're looking in all the wrong places for answers. Leather book spines gleam on floor-to-ceiling shelves like old friends keeping secrets. The grandfather clock marks each passing minute with relentless precision, counting down to disaster. Outside the window, shadows grow longer as the day slowly dies around them. Ellis pushes back from the desk and rubs his tired eyes. Tell me about your childhood, Mr. Warren. Nora perches carefully on the edge of a nearby leather chair. Nothing particularly special to remember, really. The Warrens were genuinely good people, but they never talked about where I originally came from. He opens a thick photo album filled with childhood pictures spanning years. A serious little boy stares back from every single page, dark eyes searching for something just beyond the camera's reach, always seeking answers. They loved you, though. I can see it clearly in every picture. Dust motes drift lazily through the amber lamplight like tiny dancers. The leather chair creaks softly when he shifts his position to turn pages. Her fingers trace the worn arm of her chair, feeling every crack in the aged fabric beneath her touch. Ellis turns another page with careful, reverent movements of someone handling precious memories. I used to dream about her sometimes when I was little. My birth mother. I'd imagine she was actively looking for me too. Nora's throat closes around words she cannot speak without revealing everything. Every single night for 39 years, she wondered if he was safe, if he was loved, if he remembered her voice singing gentle lullabies. What did she look like in your childhood dreams? Kind eyes that understood everything. Gentle hands that never hurt anyone. Someone who smelled like lavender soap and fresh bread baking. The accurate description hits her like a physical blow to the chest. She still uses the same lavender soap every morning, still bakes bread every Sunday morning out of habit. Some routines die hard, especially the ones rooted in deep love. She sounds absolutely wonderful. The words scrape against her raw throat like sandpaper on wood. The desk lamp casts warm circles on scattered legal papers. She can hear his breathing, slow and steady in the quiet room. Ellis closes the photo album with deliberate, careful movements of someone handling precious memories. Wait, I found something important. Ellis jumps up from his chair, waving a yellowed envelope excitedly, hidden in Dad's old fishing tackle box upstairs. It's from the adoption agency. Nora's heart stops completely for several seconds. The envelope looks exactly like the ones she remembers from 39 years ago. Her hands tremble uncontrollably as she reaches toward it with desperate hope. What does it say exactly? Ellis tears open the aged seal with shaking fingers that mirror her own. A single piece of paper falls out, covered in faded typewriter print. His handsome face lights up as he scans the contents with growing excitement. It's a receipt for legal fees, dated March 15th, 1985. The brittle paper crackles between his fingers like autumn leaves underfoot. Late afternoon sunlight streams through the window, golden and warm against their faces. She can smell the mustiness of old documents and the lingering scent of his expensive cologne. Ellis waves the paper like a victory flag in battle.
The receipt proves nothing concrete in court, I'm afraid. Ellis's lawyer speaks through the phone's speaker with professional disappointment. We need birth certificates, adoption decrees, something with official government seals and signatures. Nora watches Ellis pace endless circles around his desk like a trapped animal. Every step brings him closer to losing everything his adoptive parents built over decades. The auction starts in exactly 3 hours. There has to be something else somewhere in this house. I'm truly sorry, Ellis. Without proper legal documentation, the court won't recognize your inheritance claim. The grandfather clock chimes 6 times with finality. Evening shadows creep steadily across expensive Persian rugs like advancing soldiers. Nora's worn leather purse sits on the kitchen counter, holding the exact documents that could save him completely. Ellis hangs the phone up with violent finality that echoes through the room. I can't lose this house. Not now. Ellis slumps into his leather chair like a broken marionette with cut strings. It's the only connection I have to them, to any kind of real family. Nora knows she should speak the truth now. The adoption papers rest 3 rooms away, proof positive of his identity and legal claim. But once she reveals them, she reveals herself, and everything changes forever. Maybe there's still time to find something else here. Where could I possibly look? I've searched every drawer, every box, every possible hiding place. His voice cracks with complete exhaustion. Margaret was right. Some stones shouldn't be turned over by curious hands. The room feels smaller now, filled with the crushing weight of secrets and lost time. Traffic sounds drift through closed windows from the street beyond. Her heart beats against her ribs like a caged bird desperate for freedom. Ellis covers his face with both hands in complete defeat. Margaret appears in the doorway again, uninvited and completely unwelcome. Her smile grows wider as she takes in Ellis's defeated posture with obvious satisfaction. Victory sparkles in her cold eyes like broken glass catching light. Time's running quite short now, isn't it, darling? Go away, Margaret. Ellis doesn't even bother to look up at her intrusion. I don't need your fake sympathy right now. I'm here to make a generous offer, actually. I'll buy the house myself. Keep it in good, responsible hands. Nora's blood turns to ice water in her veins. Margaret orchestrated this entire disaster, destroyed the adoption records, all to steal Ellis's rightful inheritance for herself. You planned this entire thing from the beginning, didn't you? The accusation hangs in the air between them like smoke from a fire. Margaret's pearl necklace catches the lamplight and throws it back. Outside, the first evening stars appear in a darkening sky. Margaret's practiced smile never wavers for even a second. Exactly 2 hours until the auction begins downtown. Margaret checks her watch with theatrical position and obvious pleasure. I do hope you've made peace with losing absolutely everything. Ellis looks up at her with hollow, defeated eyes. 39 years of searching, of wondering, of hoping, all about to end in public humiliation and complete financial ruin. You know something important. You've always known something. I know that some children are better off forgotten completely. Some mothers really aren't worth finding at all. The cruel words hit Nora like physical blows to her chest. She grips the door frame to keep from falling to her knees. Margaret destroyed her life once before with religious judgment. She absolutely won't let it happen again. Get out of this house right now. Margaret laughs with genuine amusement and walks toward the front door.
Nora runs to the kitchen and grabs her purse with violently shaking hands. The adoption papers wait inside, crisp and yellow, and absolutely damning to her secret. 39 years of enforced silence end right here in this moment. Mr. Warren, I need to show you something important. Ellis looks up from his desk, hope and desperation warring in his dark eyes. The grandfather clock chimes 7 times with finality. 1 hour until the auction begins downtown, and he loses everything forever. Please tell me you found something that can help. She pulls out the envelope with fingers that won't stop trembling uncontrollably. His name is written across the front in careful script. Ellis Michael Warren, born March 12, 1985. This might help your situation. Her voice breaks on every single word. The paper crackles between them like a bridge catching fire. Late evening light streams through the windows, golden and forgiving. Ellis takes the envelope with reverent, careful hands. These are my actual adoption papers. Wonder fills his voice as he reads the official documents with growing amazement. Complete records, signatures, everything. Where did you find them? Nora's world tilts sideways on its axis. No more hiding, no more lies, no more watching him suffer from the shadows while she stays silent. The truth tastes like copper pennies and decades of accumulated regrets. I didn't find them, Ellis. I kept them all these years. Kept them? I don't understand what you mean. His eyes search her face for answers she's not ready to give him. I'm your birth mother. The words fall between them like stones into still water. The clock stops ticking. The air stops moving. Everything in the universe holds its breath and waits for his reaction. Ellis stares at her with his father's familiar dark eyes. You're lying to me. Ellis backs away from her like she carries deadly poison. My mother abandoned me. She didn't want me at all. I wanted you more than breathing itself. Tears stream down Nora's face, 39 years worth of grief pouring out at once. They said I was too young, too poor, too sinful to raise you. Then why didn't you fight for me harder? I was 16 and completely alone. They had lawyers and money and God on their side. Her voice breaks completely. I signed the papers because they convinced me it was best for you. The room spins around them like a carnival ride gone wrong. Ellis grips the edge of his desk to steady himself against the revelation. The adoption papers lie scattered on the floor between them like broken promises and lost time. All this time, you are right here next door? She nods and reaches toward him with trembling, desperate fingers. Ellis steps forward and pulls her into his strong arms without hesitation. 39 years of searching end in a single heartbeat. She smells like lavender and fresh bread, exactly like his childhood dreams promised she would. I'm sorry it took so long to tell you. Her voice soaked into his shirt like rain into dry earth. I'm sorry for everything you went through. You saved my inheritance. You saved my home. He holds her tighter, afraid she might disappear like morning mist. You saved me. Outside, car doors slam as the auction company arrives early. Inside, a mother and son discover that love doesn't have an expiration date stamped on it. The grandfather clock chimes 8 times, marking the end of one story and the beginning of another. Margaret's voice carries through the front door, sharp with surprise and growing fury. They hold each other and let the world spin on without them for once. Some reunions are worth waiting a lifetime for, and forgiveness can bloom even in the hardest soil imaginable. Love finds a way even when everything else fails completely.